Imagine being a super strong hero. You enter a martial arts tournament incognito seeking a challenge. As monsters unleash chaos upon the city, you remain unseen until the majority are defeated. Wrestling with the boredom of his superhuman abilities, you must confront your doubts and muster the will to save humanity from the monstrous threat that seeks to obliterate it. Well, that's the life of Saitama. Saitama stands in front of Bakuzan as he underestimates him, saying he's no hero and just showed up to make a name for himself. He tells Saitama that he doesn't realize how weak he is, but upon closer inspection, Bakuzan is surprised to find that Saitama is the one who took him out in the tournament with just one punch. Bakuzan, dismissing Saitama, asserts that now he is a monster and challenges him to endure the full force of pain from the great Bakuzan. He executes his Demon Reaper low kick with force, but Saitama only moves slightly, his attention drawn to the dead bodies. Bakuzan walks towards Saitama, impressed that he wasn't knocked out by the blow. He continues to taunt Saitama, suggesting that he must regret his actions now that he sees Bakuzan's power. Tsuryu shouts at Saitama to protect himself as Bakuzan throws a punch. Saitama blocks it, prompting Tsuryu's relief. Bakuzan tells Saitama that now is the time to apologize for their past encounter at the tournament, but Saitama denies any recollection, stating he can't remember. Bakuzan laughs, calling him boring, and lifts his fist to finish Saitama off. Just as Bakuzan is about to strike, Saitama punches him, knocking him unconscious with ease. Tsuryu, in shock, feels relief as he hears Saitama asking what the guy's problem was. Saitama then turns to Tsuryu, acknowledging the tough time he must have had after the tournament, and explains that he's defeated the monster, encouraging Tsuryu to keep up the good work. Tsuryu appreciates Saitama for saving his life and asks who he is. Saitama replies that he's Saitama, a hero. Hearing this, Tsuryu realizes that he entered the tournament with a fake name and asks why. Saitama explains about wanting to gain martial arts experience to deal with the hero hunter that's on the loose. As Saitama is about to walk outside, Tsuryu stops him, explaining that there's a monster association wreaking havoc, with the ability to turn humans into monsters as seen with Bakuzan. He asks if Saitama still remembers him from the tournament, and Saitama responds that he doesn't remember every single person they punch. Tsuryu tells him to be careful, emphasizing the danger, and mentions that he's sure Gogetsu is nearby as well. Saitama wonders who Gogetsu is, and Tsuryu describes him as a monster who dealt with him like a baby, stating that the strength was unfair. Meanwhile, Genos is being transported on a plane, deep in thought about not letting such powerful monsters run free. He plans to gather Class S heroes and Saitama to take them down together. Saitama asks Tsuryu where the monsters have gone. Tsuryu shows him the direction, and it suddenly makes sense why it was noisy. Saitama tells Tsuryu that he will be right back, and when Tsuryu tries to stop him, expressing concern for his safety due to the monster's martial arts skills, Tsuryu grabs Saitama's leg, insisting he won't let a person who saved his life die. Despite all the warnings, Saitama still follows the monster, leaving Tsuryu crying for him. When he hears the sounds of punching and sees dust, Tsuryu assumes Saitama has been killed. Suddenly, Gogetsu's head flies towards him, landing right next to him. Saitama then lands next to Tsuryu, informing him that he forgot to tell him to keep the fact that he entered the competition a secret. Tsuryu asks if Gogetsu was tough, and Saitama replies that he went down with just one punch, so he doesn't know. Tsuryu then asks one last question if he can make him his disciple, and Saitama replies with an absolute no. Meanwhile, in the streets, people cheer for a hero fighting a naked monster, puzzled by his choice of attire. The hero receives a call notifying him of an incident back home. Saitama walks in the streets, observing the aftermath and wondering how the monsters vanished without him getting a chance to fight. He questions his hero status, realizing he can't call himself a hero if he doesn't defeat any monsters. Saitama feels like he's forgotten something important about why he became a hero in the first place, initially out of interest, but now feeling bored after joining the Hero Association. Continuing his walk, King stops next to Saitama on his bicycle and they start walking together. Saitama asks King if it's okay to be in the streets, to which King mentions a warning but notes it's super quiet. King asks Saitama what's bothering him, and Saitama explains his frustration with growing too strong, unable to learn or be challenged anymore. King suggests making friends or taking a vacation, but Saitama dismisses these ideas. King expresses defeat, mentioning that Saitama refuses to take on challenges. They continue walking, discussing video games. The hero hunter, recalling his fight with Watchdog Man, sees King and recognizes an opportunity to attack. As King seems unaffected by pain and only grows stronger, he runs towards them, ready to land a punch, but Saitama kicks him, sending him flying into a wall. Saitama then turns to King, asking if he knows the guy. King replies that he doesn't, and Saitama questions King about recent events, and King admits he's unaware. Saitama explains the presence of monsters wreaking havoc and a self-proclaimed hero hunter targeting heroes. Meanwhile, Sonic encounters two individuals from the village introducing themselves as Hellfire Flame and Tempest Wind from Golden 37. Sonic questions their intentions, and Tempest Wind replies that they want to recruit him for a big endeavor to take over the world as monsters surpassing humanity. Fire Flame explains their membership in a monsters association that accepts only monsters, claiming the world is about to be flipped upside down. Sonic dismisses it as nonsense and questions why they're recruiting him. Tempest Wind reveals their goal to defeat Flashy Flash once and for all, urging Sonic to join him. Sonic denies the offer and warns them to leave before facing consequences. Tempest Wind reminds Sonic about the Monsters Association revealing themselves as monsters. Suddenly, a monster appears behind Sonic, offering him a cell to inject into his body for transformation. They inform Sonic that they'll be waiting for him at the Monsters Association. Sonic's obsession with defeating Saitama leads him to take the monster cell, hoping to become strong enough for the task. He consumes it, and meanwhile, the Heroes Association's computer experts communicate with heroes and monitor the lurking monsters in the city. They decide to inform more Class S heroes to gather and defeat it. However, Zombie Man, already in the city, suggests there's no need for everyone to converge on a small threat like that. He plans to follow the monster to lead him to the Monsters Association. Observing the monster, Zombie Man thinks it's about to attack a civilian. However, the monster converses with the gorilla, thinking it's trying to blend in. The gorilla states it's just going to buy groceries, and when the monster attempts to attack, Zombie Man intervenes, knocking it out. He changes plans, deciding to follow the civilians instead. Bang and his older brother Bomb volunteer to handle monsters but haven't encountered Garo yet. The Hero Association receives information about the Monsters Association and their leader Orochi. Saitama is in King's apartment playing a video game. After losing the first round, he discovers a communication device given to heroes via the association. He questions King about not receiving one, and King jokingly suggests they might think he can't handle button things. Saitama looks at the game controller, grabs it, and resumes playing, but he continues to lose. Meanwhile, at the Hero Association in the meeting room, they discuss the kidnapped son of their chief executive. A person enters carrying a monster eye, appearing to be a member of the association, but infected. He brings a message from the Monsters Association, causing panic. Heroes are called upon, and one of them points a gun at the infected person, but his friend suggests listening to the message first. The monster talks about humans and monsters living in harmony in City Z, claiming they're tired of being hunted. A man from the Hero Association suggests bringing the kid, thinking the monsters are naive. However, he's suddenly shot and the eye breaks, revealing the Monsters Association's demand to send their strongest heroes to City Z to rescue the boy, as Lord Orochi will be waiting. The infected man takes out two guns attempting to shoot, but a hero named Blockbuster arrives and hits him to the window. Despite the virus attempting to penetrate his thick skin, Blockbuster kills it like a mosquito. At the Monsters Association, Gyro outlines their plan to eradicate the Hero Association, believing that once the heroes are gone, humans will lose the will to fight, allowing Lord Orochi to become the king and achieve victory. One monster expresses a desire to deal only with the Hero Association, prompting Orochi to stretch his arm, grabbing and eating the disobedient monster in front of the others, instilling fear. After finishing his speech, Orochi inquires about Kogetsu's whereabouts, realizing he hasn't seen him. Gyro, using his eye monitor, searches for Kogetsu in the city and discovers him lying dead, head missing. Shocked at the loss of one of their strongest monsters, Gyro wonders who could have done such a thing, realizing their plan might not proceed as smoothly as anticipated. Gyros wakes up in pain, thinking that King got him good. Despite encountering a hero, he chooses to return to his hideout without a fight. Genos expresses gratitude to Dr. Kuseno for his new body, and Kuseno mentions its ease of operation and upgrades, making Genos feel stronger. Genos vows not to lose again. The Monsters Association spreads news of the Heroes Association infiltration and the killing of an executive, striking fear among civilians and some heroes. Monsters who catch wind of the news are on their way to City Z to join their monster allies in defeating the Hero Association. Saitama sees the monsters multiplying, realizing the garbage truck will arrive soon. In the woods, Tarion and his friends notice a person in the base and send Tario to chase him out. Tario, buried by his friends, enters the shack in fear. Gyro wakes up questioning why the kid is there. Tario recognizes him as the old man from the park, and Gyro remembers the kid. Tario explains his friend's instructions, and Gyro, noticing Tario being bullied, advises him to become stronger to stop the mistreatment. Meanwhile, the heroes arrive at the shack, informed of the heroes' hunter's presence. They instruct the kids to leave due to the dangerous monster as Terrio is about to open the door. Garo stops him, realizing he's surrounded. He borrows Terrio's comment to gather information about the heroes present. After reading the hero guide, he returns to Terrio and walks outside, surprising the heroes with his apparent surrender. The heroes start attacking Garo with poisonous arrows and guns, shocked as he seems to anticipate their moves. Despite landing a couple of poisonous arrows, they surround him. Terrio watches, puzzled about why the heroes are attacking Garo, and they urge him to surrender, claiming he won't escape. Surrounded and weakened, Death Gatling warns it's his last chance, but Garo doesn't reply, struggling not to pass out. Garo is still in the middle of the battle. This time, the heroes have surrounded him on all sides. Heroes start mocking Garo and telling him to surrender since they think that everyone among the heroes is skilled, having stared death in the face. Therefore, they believe Garo won't be able to withstand them. However, upon hearing this, Garo laughs as he's not taking every word seriously. He tells them that they all seem like a random hodgepodge he would find in some local park. The heroes tell him that they're also going after the Monster Association after dealing with him first. They are planning on teaching the monsters a lesson. Because of this, Garo realizes the heroes are like a staircase he needs to climb in order to become a real monster. So he promises himself not to hold back. That's when the heroes start unleashing a barrage of bullets and arrows at him. However, Garo starts dodging the bullets and arrows with ease. Although Garo dodges with ease initially, he is soon stabbed by a poison arrow which clouds his mind. That's when the heroes start attacking him more fiercely. One hero uses Earth Rotation Boom, but Garo manages to defend himself. Another hero uses Chain Toad to try to restrain him. However, he still defends himself, resisting being captured. He gets shot in the leg too. Still, he keeps defending himself, refusing to quit. As Garo struggles to take the hero's attacks, he starts to feel the poison spreading in his veins. It makes his movement slower and harder to focus. But Garo keeps fighting back. He draws his deep determination and willpower to not run away. He knows he must keep moving up this stairway and defeat these heroes to get one step closer to becoming a real monster. He changes how he fights to handle his worsening condition, and he pays attention to how the battle flows and predicts how the heroes will strike next. When the hero is using Earth Rotation Boom shots, Garo is ready for the direct blast, and he dodges to the side, then moves closer fast to land a big counterpunch. Against the hero with chains, Garo times when he moves away. He turns the hero's momentums against him rather than trying to overpower the chains with only strength, step by step showing why he's the best self-taught martial arts, even while being hurt and poisoned. This surprises Glasses as he expects the poison to really impact Garo's body by now, but it seems fine. He keeps battling hard. One more hero uses Pile Bison, but Garo strikes back first and surprises this hero too. Additionally, another hero tries binding and restraining Garo with metal wire traps during openings in the combat. But Garo wisely recognizes that brute strength alone cannot overwhelm such devious bindings at his current level. Instead, he times his evasive maneuvers and uses tight spaces to limit the wire's angles of attacks, watching Garo display ever-evolving adaptation against the varied heroic abilities arrayed against him, and Glasses with his squadron feels increasing hesitation. How can anyone counter such an unpredictably improvisational fighting intellect? They search for any-minute openings to turn the tide back in their favor against this unnerving human monster before them. He then begins a devastating counterattack, defeating several heroes one by one over the next few minutes. Glasses, who was throwing stones at Garo, ends up being attacked instead, and another hero tries Bamboo Shoot, but nothing works against him. Upon seeing so many heroes dying, he starts running to make another attack. However, the heroes follow him. Surprisingly, though, Garo is running at a high speed, causing those who think the poison must have been working to question their assumptions. Death Gatling decides to utilize his machine gun, forcing Garo to take cover behind a rookie hero. Seizing the chance, the rookie tries launching a surprise attack but is quickly defeated. This is witnessed by Stinger, who wants to avenge his friend, but soon falls to Garo's onslaught as well. Another hero starts shooting at Garo, but he managed to defend himself by running away from the bullets, and he finds Glasses, who started running upon seeing Garo approaching. However, he tells him not to run away. In no time, he starts punching Glasses until the hero is defeated. In this manner, he defeats 7 heroes, leaving only Death Gatling, who decides to try and finish Garo off. But before he attacks, Garo reminds him about the kid who is inside the shack, warning him not to shoot in that direction. Death Gatling uses his ultimate Death Volley technique, but it proves useless against Garo's might. When the dust clears, Gatling sees Garo still standing and starts mocking him since he shot him and he did not die. He now believes firearms can't defeat him. However, Gatling does not give up and wants to stab Garo with his combat knife, but Garo defends himself with ease. Meanwhile, Lightspeed Flash shows up, frightened upon sensing Garo's energy. Upon seeing him, Flash realizes he is a true monster and flees screaming. Then, as Garo is about to leave the place to get water, Genos shows up wanting to get revenge after receiving a call from heroes begging for help. The already wounded Garo is then ambushed by a rejuvenated Genos. Genos then starts unleashing machine gun blasts and other powers to try and defeat Garo, but Garo is able to defend against all of it. Though they fight evenly at first, Garo eventually overpowers Genos, and on the other hand, Saitama is busy playing video games with King, but he keeps losing every round. In the middle of their gaming session, King receives an alert on his phone that some monsters have emerged downtown. However, then they hear that everything is over now. That's when King asks Saitama about Genos' status, surprised when Saitama casually responds that Genos has not been home for 2 days. Back at the fight scene, Garo now knows that Genos is very strong and that he won't be able to defeat him in his currently weakened state. So he starts strategizing a plan of retreating in order to recover before potentially facing Genos again. As he tries to escape, Genos informs him that he cannot get away, and Genos blasts a shockwave attack. Copying Watchdog Man's movements, Garo tears off Genos' prosthetic limbs. Genos remotely reattaches his detached limbs and binds Garo to a tree with strong adhesive. Garo endures another blast from Genos and breaks free from the tree. More monsters emerge from underground, but Genos easily defeats them. Genos then praises Saitama for being an unbeatable hero. As Genos prepares to attack Garo again, the martial artist brothers Silver Fang and Bomb come to provide backup for Genos. Together, they defeat the second wave of monsters, leaving only Garo remaining. Silver Fang challenges Garo to a one-on-one duel, and Garo tries running away, but Silver Fang is too quick. He knocks away Garo's attacks and forces him back towards Genos and Bomb. Working in sync, the three heroes barrage Garo, even adapting Watchdog Man's animalistic style barely helps Garo hold ground. Badly damaged, he pants hard, rethinking Garo attempts tricking them instead. A feint at Genos while targeting Silver Fang, but the clever master anticipates this. He strikes Garo so forcefully that Garo nearly blacks out. Nevertheless, Garo's determination reignites and his roars and charges forward. Shockwaves scatter the area and trees fall. Locked in combat, Silver Fang praises his hated enemy's skill and spirit, but he knows Garo cannot withstand their combined might. Bang fiercely hits Garo with everything he has. As Garo tries to defend himself, he falls down from the force of blows. That's when Bang punches him 100 times, and in no time, Garo's vision becomes blurry and he's on the verge of losing consciousness. At this time, Garo feels sure he will pass away, but Bang does not stop hitting relentlessly. Suddenly and shockingly, Garo moves oddly and wakes up, startling Bang. Right when Garo tries starting a counterattack, Bomb stops him. Bomb takes care of killing the other monsters himself. After this, the two sibling heroes join forces to attempt destroying Garo. However, Bang is amazed by how mighty Garo still seems, so much that Bang asks Bomb if he could recover if he was damaged the same as Garo. Nonetheless, Garo recalls his goal of hunting heroes, which motivates him. Quickly then, he stands upright and pushes back with his last bits of power. In an instant, all three wearing men are alarmed as Garo's struggle makes the ground rumble beneath them. The Centauro cautions Garo that the next time he initiates an altercation with heroes, he must ensure to kill them all without fail. Then the monster enlightens Garo that the only one capable of defeating the Centauro is the mighty Tatsumaki, who has mastered psychic abilities in parallel worlds. He continues that the other heroes would be unlikely to endure this battle. Additionally, he lets it slip that Bang actually possesses concealed strength that he can only tap into when facing appropriately sized enemies in close combat. It is revealed that Centauro wants to fight the #1 hero Blast last, as Blast nearly killed Centauro the last time they fought. Subsequently, the monsters start approaching the three fighters. However, Bang and Bomb combine their attack and strike one of Centauro's bodies with their united technique. Nonetheless, Centauro counterattacks, prompting Genos to come to their aid. The damage that Bang and Bomb inflicted shows its effectiveness, since Centauro is cursing its body, and before long the monster explodes. Suddenly, another body emerges from within. The three fighters are astonished, so they aim to eliminate Centauro before it enters the city and causes more destruction. Now Genos stands up, informing Bomb and Bang that they should wait, as he's going to eradicate the durable monster alone. Right away, he blasts out from the ground and initiates his all-out attack on Centauro. Although the monster attempts to fight back, none of his counterattacks prove to be effective against Genos, as Genos then utilizes his full incineration cannon. But remarkably, Centauro still endures the powerful blast. Undeterred, the monster slices Genos into two sections with its bladed arms. However, Genos stubbornly refuses to surrender to defeat and recover himself back to a functional form. Continuing his fierce assault, he penetrates the stomach of Centauro, yet still fails to obliterate its core. Just as the battered Centauro is about to finish Genos off once and for all, with a devastating blow, Bomb heroically comes to Genos' last-second rescue. Meanwhile, as the fight rages on, the injured Garo remains with Phoenix Man, who be notified that Garo's ultimate desire is to defeat the top heroes in order to earn respect and instill fear. During this ongoing clash, Bang is frantically escaping the battlefield while carrying the nearly destroyed Genos over his shoulder, aided by his brother Bomb. Suddenly, they hear the unexpected voice of the Hero King, who is challenging Sentichurro to battle since the monster has been so fervently searching for the mighty hero. Boldly facing the monster, King tells Sentichurro that he will bring Blast, the #1 hero, straight to their location to fight. Enraged, Sentichurro immediately wants to pulverize King in fury over his provocation. However, before the monster can strike, Saitama unexpectedly shows up just in time and obliterates Sentichurro's entire body with a single, all-powerful punch. Sentichurro gets completely and utterly erased from existence. The remaining heroes are all astounded by this sudden conclusion, but Saitama nonchalantly comments that he was feeling particularly stressed this day from repeatedly losing intense video game battles to the unfathomably skilled King. In the concluding scene, Phoenix Man is shown carefully transporting the gravely wounded Garo back to the Hidden Monster Association headquarters. With that, this recap has come to an end, and you're a pretty interesting guy for sticking around. Don't forget to hit the bell icon as well as the subscribe button for more recaps like this. See you thirsty weebs later.